Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make this simple half circle flay. I used 3 yards of fabric to make this. Okay, so you would have to pause this to understand the calculations needed. It's quite easy. So I went ahead to fold my fabric into 2. Please pause that photo so you understand the calculation needed. So folded my fabric into 2. Okay, so I'm going to fold it again in a triangular form, or in a triangular shape, or in a bias shape, like so. Okay, so I'm just going to do it again so you understand. So from that point you're going to fold it like this, so it has this shape like a triangle. So we are going to cut the front and the back piece together, and please note that when you're folding, your fabric may not be enough, or some parts may not get the length, because this is an African print. But don't worry, we are going to sort that out. Just keep watching. So the next thing you want to do is to mark your radius. By now you would have understood or gotten your own radius for your own measurement using that calculation that I made. It's quite easy, like it's very easy to understand. So you're going to get the your radius, which is your waist, from that point. Okay, you're going to mark it all the way around like I'm doing. So you mark your radius like this, and then you connect it like so. Then you get the length of your skirt. I added 2 inches seam allowance for the length of my skirt. So I'm going to place my tape on my radius, that is the place I marked, and I will take my length, my full length. Okay, like so. Just mark it all the way. Make sure that your tape, the tip of your tape, is on the radius that you marked. So you're going to measure the length of your skirt all the way like this. So I was marking like so, then I connected the lines. The next thing I want to do is to cut out my waist, that is the radius. Cut it out, and I left about ½ inch. I cut ½ inch on top just for joining. Then I'll cut this area, cut it out like so. So please guys, I want you to know that when you're folding your fabric, especially if you're using your abada, you're most likely going to have shortage, like some area won't be long enough. Okay, so you have to join that area, or the area that is not long enough, okay, so that it will be long. So here I'm going to be joining 2 pieces because the 2 pieces folded weren't long enough. So I'm going to be folding 2 pieces of fabric to join to that area. Okay, so I just here I was showing you that I have to fold a piece of fabric into 2 like so, in order to get that shape, or the shapes that I will join to the 2 areas that weren't long enough. So what I did, I put the folded piece of cloth I had under the one that was long enough, like I'm doing. folded it in like this. I put it in like this underneath, and I made sure that it was about 1 inch inside. That is for joining. Okay, just made space for joining, about 1 inch seam allowance. Then I'm going to trace this shape. Remember, we are cutting 2 of this. I am cutting 2 of this because I need to join 2 sides that weren't long enough. So I'm going to trace that shape. Then I'll cut it. So I was done cutting, and here is what I have. Okay, so I'm going to open it up because I folded it into 2. I'm going to open it up to have 2 pieces of the same shape. Okay, so I opened it up and I have 2 pieces, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to join each of the piece like so, okay, so that I will have a complete piece or a longer piece on that area. So I'm going to turn my fabric like so, and then on this side, okay, this side is actually open on that area. Then I'm going to open up the other side that isn't open, okay, just to have 2 pieces of the same, size, or just I will just have 2 pieces when I open this up. I'm going to have 2 pieces, which is the front and the back. So I'm opening it up on the side that already has one open. So I have 2 pieces now. I'm going to take away one. It's just the same, so you just take one away and that will become my front. Then I'll fold this one back to that shape that I had initially. Okay, fold it back to the shape, and this would actually become my back piece. So I'm going to cut open the center, which is unfold. Cut it open like so. So this is going to be my center back where my zipper will be fixed. Okay, so now I have 2 pieces for the back. This is where the zip is going to be, and then 1 piece for the front. Okay, so next thing I want to do is to cut the pocket. So here I measured 7 inches from this end to the other end. 7 inches. I marked 7 inches for the pocket, and then I place my palm. This is just like my starting line. I placed my palm on it and just mark a curve. Just freestyle it. Mark a curve to meet that 7 inches I marked. Okay, this is to be sure that my palm can actually fit into the pocket. So I'm going to cut it off. Cut out my pocket like so. So I'm going to use this one pattern to cut out 3 more because it's supposed to be 4. Okay, so I'm going to use it and cut 3 more. Okay, I'm cutting it separately because I'm trying to manage my fabric. But if you have enough fabric, you can actually cut the 4 of them at once. Just fold your fabric and cut it all at once. Okay, so I think this is the 4th one. Yeah, so I have 4 pieces, 2 on each side, okay, for my pocket. So the next is my waistband. Okay, So I'm going to fold my fabric like so, and I'm going to measure my waist circumference, okay, and I will divide it by 2 and then add 2 inches seam allowance to get the length of my waistband. Okay, you divide your waist circumference into 2 because this fabric is unfold, and you add 2 inches seam allowance. Okay, and then for the width of my band, I want the width of my band to be 2 inches. Okay, so I measured 4.5 inches actually. Okay, 2 inches for my width, and then half inch for my seam allowance. Okay, so it's going to be 4.5 is what I measured. This is because my fabric is not unfold yet. Okay, so eventually when I fold my fabric into 2 and join by half an inch, I'm going to have 2 inches left for the width of my waistband. Okay, so here is it. Once I fold it into 2 like this and I join with half of an inch, okay, I'm going to have 2 inches left for my width. Okay, so I've gone ahead to join my sides, join the zipper area. Okay, so I'm going to fix my pockets now. So on my side seam, I measured, this is my side seam at the back. Okay, so I measured 2 inches from my waist. Okay, then I marked it, and from that 2 inches I measured 6 inches. Okay, so I'm going to loosen the stitches from that 2 inches I measured down to that 6 inches I measured. Okay, I like to actually do this before I fix my pockets, like sew my side seams, loosen it, then fix my pocket, because I feel it's just easier for me and it's also easy for a beginner. So I'm loosening the stitch on that area from the 2 inches I measured down to that 6 inches. Okay, so I was done loosening my stitch from here to here that I marked. Okay, so now I'm going to open up my seam like so. Open up my seam, then I bring my pocket. Okay, so this is the front of my pocket, so I'm going to place my pocket on my seam, front facing front. Okay, you place it a little above the 2 inches that you marked. Okay, so you'll be able to have a place to join. Okay, so you place it front facing front like so. I'm going to secure it with a pin or pins. Just hold my pocket down in place with my pins. Then this is what it looks like in front. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for this other side. Get the other side of my pocket, then front facing front, just place it like so. Make sure it matches the one you already placed. Okay, place it like so, and also secure with your pin. Okay, please, pins are very necessary. Okay, makes your work easier. So now I've fixed it, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to now join this area. I'm going to join this area with half an inch. Okay, and the other side, half an inch. Just join it with half inch. Okay, and then you're going to sew round your pocket with half of an inch as well. Okay, down. Make sure you back stitch to hold it in place. Okay, so next thing is my waistband. I went ahead to iron possible interfacing on it. I like to iron the half-inch seam allowances inside, okay, like so, and then I folded it into two and ironed again. It makes your work easier, okay, as a beginner. So here is my skirt and here is the back, okay, the back of my skirt. So I'm going to place my waistband on the back of my skirt, starting from one end. Okay, I'm going to sew it with half of an inch, so that line which was made by the iron is going to actually serve as a guide. That's why I said ironing is okay. So I've already sewed my half an inch. Okay, so I'm going to fold it over to the front like so. Okay, and then sew it like this at the edge. Okay, just at the edge. This is the back, so I'm going to sew it to the front like this. Okay, so I was done sewing. This is what the front looks like. Yes, very neat. And this is the back. Okay, so next thing I want to do is to fix my zipper on my zipper allowance. So here I was done fixing my zipper. See how neat it looks, and then I hemmed the skirt, and that's all. This is what I have. Very beautiful, right? Please guys, subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this. This is another piece I made using the same pattern. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.